Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Jillian Musser.
And I'm Anthony Derzo. This week we have updates on the newest feature to pop back up in PPG Place, some unfortunate incidents that have occurred downtown, and much more.
Plus, make sure you stick around to watch reporter Addison Deal Politismack this week's political news, and reporter Brandon Kurowski update you on the strike currently unfolding at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
All this and more coming up. Wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh. Daybreak starts right now. Welcome back. Let's get started with your campus news. Here's your weekly weather update with Alexa Shawless.
Thanks, Anthony and Jillian. I hope everyone enjoyed our little bits of sunshine last week because we are coming up on some cloudy and dull skies. It is forecasted for next week that we'll have temperatures ranging in temperatures in the range of about mid-40s to the low 50s, and that's just the highs. Luckily, the only expected precipitation is a chance of rain on Tuesday. The sun may peek out a bit on Thursday, but aside from that, it may be time to pull out your old hats and sweaters.
Thanks for the updates, Alexa.
Let's get started with this week's campus news.
Hey Point Park students, looking for one of the coolest jobs in town? The UPMC rank at PPG Place is now hiring. Interviews will be taking place at the skate rental office. They will be held this Friday, October 28th from 3 to 7 p.m. The rink will be operational starting November 18th through February 26th. If you're not looking for some extra cash and just want to skate, clear your calendars for Wednesday nights. Starting January 11th, students with valid student IDs will be allowed in for $5.50, which is half price until then. Hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to midnight Friday and Saturday. Admission is $11 and rentals are $5.
With Halloween just days away, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is returning to Point Park University. It will take place at the Ralph Theater along 5th Avenue in Oakland this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. This event is hosted by the Ghostlight Theater Company and the Sports, Art, and Entertainment Management Club. Another event coming up this weekend is Halloween Fright Night, hosted by All Things Horror Club. It will take place in the Screening Room in West Penn 260. In order to attend these events, you must RSVP on PointSync.
Ready to rock with Rockathon, sponsored by WPPJ. From now until Friday, October 28th at 4 p.m., WPPJ 670 AM will be broadcasting live from Point Park's own Lawrence Hall, right outside the Point Cafe. The event is a fundraiser that will be raising money for the Early Learning Institute. Your favorite student DJs will be broadcasting live non-stop. You can listen live anytime at WPPJ.com by clicking Listen Live. Another way you can support the station is by visiting the merch table, also located on 2nd floor. Here you can buy WPPJ shirts, buttons, hats, and more to show your WPPJ 670 AM support.
I can't wait to go skating.
I'm so excited to go skating. I'm actually going to interview there tomorrow.
Nice.
I think it'll be fun.
I played hockey for 8 years, so I love to show up.
You played hockey?
Yeah.
You never told me this.
Oh,
wait, no, you did last night at dinner.
People find that as a shock. I don't know why.
You were probably a star.
I was.
You were probably the best.
I was right defenseman. Nobody was getting past me. If they were going to get to the skate. But anyway, after the break, we'll dive into this week's Pittsburgh news.
Plus, reporters Brandon Kurowski and Addison Deal will keep you up to speed on papers and politics. Find out more coming up.
Don't go anywhere. Daybreak will be right back.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome back to Newsnight. Most of the student body of the Pittsburgh Public School.
Some of the United States allies.
Thursday, the FBI was seen raiding.
Let's get started with today's forecast.
Today's high will only reach about 31 degrees.
It's looking a little cooler than we've seen in the past few weeks.
All this and more.
All this and more.
All this and more coming up on Newsnight.
Coming up on Newsnight.
Coming up on Newsnight.
back to Daybreak.
Without further ado, here is your city news. The Walmart at the Waterworks Shopping Plaza in Aspinwall will permanently close its doors next month. According to KDKA, the company announced the closure on Monday, calling it an underperforming location and saying that the decision was made after reviewing, quote, historic and current financial performances, end quote. Employees at this location will have the opportunity to transfer to other Walmart locations in the city. A sign on the entrance door shows that the store is currently operating under hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and also encourages shoppers to visit their North for Sales and Tarentum locations. The Walmart Waterworks location was actually the closest Walmart to Point Park's campus. After the closure, however, the closest Walmart will be in Bridgeville. As of now, the final day of the store will be November 11th.
The Allegheny police are currently investigating a homicide in Duquesne. This Tuesday, a man was found collapsed over the wheel of his car. He has been identified as 18-year-old DeRob Johnson. His cause of death was multiple gunshot wounds. Johnson was found around 6 a.m. this Tuesday in the 900 block of High Street, Duquesne. When first responders reached him, he was already declared dead. An official investigation is now underway. Anyone with information regarding this incident is to call 1-833-ALL-TIPS. Another homicide was declared in East Whitfield Township. Hayden Robert Gaffria went missing on October 20th, but was later found on October 22nd in Brush Valley Township in the woods. It has been determined by investigators his kidnapping led up to the homicide. His autopsy revealed his cause of death was multiple stab wounds as well as being bitten. State police arrested a 14-year-old and 7 adults as suspects. It is suspected that Garefa's kidnapping was due to an argument.
Shots rang out along the 900 block of Penn Avenue this past Tuesday around 3:30 in the afternoon. According to Pittsburgh Public Safety, Zone 2 officers responded to the reports of shots fired. When first responders arrived at the scene, they found shell casings and a damaged entranceway to the Passport Academic Charter School. There are no reported victims or injuries. However, police did question 2 males in regard to the shootings. It is unknown what led to gunfire, but investigation by the Mobile Crime Unit is ongoing. The principal and CEO of the Passport Academic Charter School told WPXI that they are cooperating with authorities and that they are providing counselors to students and staff as needed. Pittsburgh Kappa Allegheny Traditional Academy K through 8 was on lockdown for an estimated 20 minutes. Police say that there is no danger to the community following the incident. You know, you don't hear about Walmart's closing all that much.
No, and I'm mad because that was my Walmart.
I know.
That was my Walmart. That's where I got the $10 mini griddle.
A $10 mini griddle?
The griddle. The mini griddle I keep in my dorm for my cookies.
Oh.
I made butter biscuits on it yesterday.
You didn't give me any.
You weren't here.
Yeah, I was.
No, you weren't.
Whatever.
Now let's hand it over to reporter Brandon Kurowski for important updates on the conflict happening in Pittsburgh's journalistic sphere.
An ongoing strike has been affecting publication of a local newspaper in Pittsburgh. According to CBS Pittsburgh, Post-Gazette journalists and newsroom staff walked off the job at noon on Tuesday, October 18th. Although writers for the paper recently went on strike, union workers responsible for production of the paper have been off the job since October 6th. The strike has been a result of poor health care plans offered by the news publication and workers being without a contract for 5 years. Journalists for the newspaper began removing their names from bylines in early October in protest of these conditions. Although its production team remains on strike, the news organization has still been able to produce digital and print versions of the paper. According to Pittsburgh City Paper, the Post-Gazette has been receiving help from the news organization Butler Eagle to continue production of the paper, which also reproduces Pittsburgh City Paper. Because of this, Pittsburgh City Paper editor-chief and staff Lisa Cunningham resigned from her position on Tuesday, October 19th. In a public statement on Twitter, Cunningham said, quote, "I condemn Butler Eagle's decision to print the Post-Gazette during a strike, and I condemn any business that follows its employees to work under abusive control," end quote. Butler Eagle President Ron Vonachar released a statement on Thursday, October 20th, defending the decision to help with the publication of the newspaper. In a brief part of the statement, Vonachar said, quote, "It is a firm belief that if the Post-Gazette fails to distribute a print product of any length of time, it will cause the end of the Post-Gazette. Only through the assistance of a third party will the jobs of the workers and maybe even the future of the company survive," end quote. We will keep you posted on the developments of this strike as they unfold. Reporting for Daybreak, I'm Brandon Kozlowski. Now back to our host.
Thanks, Brandon. Coming up, we have this week's Ray of Sunshine.
But first, reporter Addison Deal politismack this week's political news.
Take it away, Addie.
This past Tuesday, John Fetterman and Mehmet Oz faced each other in the Senate debate, giving Pennsylvanians a glimpse of each of their policies once elected. Fetterman, who recently suffered a stroke back in May, elected to use a closed captioning device as well as had some difficulty with his word usage and phrasing. Fetterman made his stance on some policies that Pennsylvanians are looking to know very clear, such as his support for abortion rights and his positioning on fracking. Additionally, Fetterman showed support for decriminalizing marijuana and ending the legislative filibuster in the Senate. Along with sharing his stances, he also repeatedly called Oz a liar, saying, quote, "If he's on TV, he's lying," end quote. This debate was one of the most watched in Pennsylvania's history, seeing as it was one of the first times Fetterman has debated publicly since his stroke. Fetterman stated during the debate, quote, "I had a stroke. He's never let me forget that. And I might miss some words during this debate, mush two words together, but it knocked me down, but I'm coming back up," end quote. Dr. Oz, on the other hand, had some very different stances on some positions during this debate. While Oz has been very vocal about his stance against abortion, he claimed during the debate that he believed it should be up to the states and did not support an outright federal ban. Along with that, he showed clear support for ex-President Donald Trump's re-election. After being endorsed by the ex-president, Oz claimed during the debate that, quote, "I'll support whoever the Republican Party puts up. I would support Donald Trump if he decided to run for president," end quote. Throughout the debate, Oz continually compared Fetterman to a political radicalist, citing his support for Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential run, and his past support for the decriminalization of all drugs. The general election for Pennsylvania will be on November 8th, so make sure you use your right and vote.
Thanks, Addie. In case this is your first time joining us, or you just need a refresher, Ray of Sunshine is our way of starting your day with a smile and inspirational quote.
As I'm sure you're well aware, Halloween is right around the corner. That's why today, in honor of the spooky season, we want to talk to you a bit about fear.
Our quote for this week comes from Nobel Prize-winning physicist Marie Curie and reads, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is to be understood." That is easier said than done, in my opinion.
Am I allowed to say that's deep?
Yeah.
Can I say that's deep?
Yeah.
It feels deep.
It is.
From someone like me who struggles with like change a lot, like I relate to that a lot because I moved rooms this week, okay? It was something very simple. It was better for me mentally. And even though it's a positive thing, I was terrified the entire time. And that's something small.
Yeah.
But I relate to that a lot because I feel like if we can get over that we face little things, we grow from that.
And it's about understanding that sometimes change is the key part of life.
It's true. We're surrounded by change. We gotta like turn and face the strange. That's it for this episode of Daybreak. Thank you all so much for watching.
You can catch clips from all of our previous Daybreak episodes on our YouTube at UView Television.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DaybreakPPU. Until next time, I'm Jillian Musser.
And I'm Anthony Durzo, hoping your news is great news. See you next week, everybody.